This is Bob Weiner, Newcastle County Councilman, here for NCC-TV, and we're here at the TALLEY County Park, established in the 1980s with the two farms, the TALLEY farm and the Day farm. Then in later years, the additional farm was added, which now comprises a larger park that extends from Wilson Road over to Falk Road. We have many passive and active uses here. A master plan was done under Dennis Greenhouse, but it was completed under the Gordon's administration, the first administration. One of the most popular uses in this park is Delaware and Newcastle County's first fenced-in bark park or dog park. There's an acre fenced in for large dogs and an acre fenced in for small dogs. This was established in 2002. So since 2002, we've helped to reduce the costs of its maintenance by having a public-private partnership, which is called the TALLEY Day Bark Park Citizens Maintenance Day. One is done in the spring and one is done in the fall. We do these on days that are in-service days for school so that the children can participate. The students from the Key Club of Brandywine High School, Boy Scout Troop 67 and 70, Bank of America volunteers, and other citizen groups can participate without having to miss school, and they get community service hours for doing this. Additionally, we do it on a day that's not a weekend anymore, so that the county employees that are helping, we're not having to pay overtime. So this is a successful public-private partnership because there aren't enough tax dollars for government at any level to do everything that needs to be done. And this gives citizens a sense that they have a sense of ownership of this park. It's our park. I have with me County Executive Tom Gordon and my fellow Brandywine 100 Councilman John Cartier are here looking at our proud constituents that are working today. Tom, do you remember when we cut the ribbon on this?
It was a long time ago, but I do have a recollection of the wonderful day we had.
Mm-hmm. And John, do you remember when we first started working on this together?
I came on the scene a little later, but I can attest to the fact this is a highly used and very much beloved bark park facility. I, in fact, use it with my dog, Angus. And it provides a place for, our Brandywine 100 folks to get together, socialize, bring out the dogs for exercise, and it's a very wonderful experience to be here with all the people and their dogs, and it's a tremendous success for us.
Now, there's a lot of other amenities here at this park as well. Tom, remember we planned the library here, and you remember that story?
Quite a fight, but
Yes.
It turned out to be beautiful. Beautiful library, community center.
Yes, it did. There's no other library quite like this.
There'll never be one either. It's just a fantastic multi-purpose library.
And then, of course, we had the issue where the park was going to be, and each civic group had its own
major fight we went through, and we ended up putting it in the middle.
Right. And turned out to be a success. And the camp program, why don't you tell us about the camp program that's here every summer?
All the programs out here, you can't help but be successful with the amount of people that live here, and the need for these kind of services. Just a wonderful opportunity.
John, it's always been a pleasure being a partner with you in Brandywine 100, and whether it's opening up a new county library in Claymont next week, or whether it's here at the TALLEY Day Park for our fall maintenance day, you and I work together.
Yes, Bob, and I wanted to give a little perspective about this facility, which services the public of Newcastle County. You know, when it was incepted, and you were part of the planning for that, there was some controversy associated with the idea of mixing a park with a library, with another facility. So what we have here is actually turned out to be a tremendous asset for the residents of Brandywine 100. We have a mixed-use public facility, which in its day was seen as rather cutting-edge and controversial. Today we view this as the standard of practice for our county facilities, where we're mixing all kinds of public uses to benefit the public. So glad to be part of this with you and to enjoy this day with the rest of the volunteers renewing the famous TALLEY Day Bark Park.
You know, John, I had forgotten about all that pain, but yes, back in the Dennis Greenhouse days, there was never an example of a library and a park together. And now we see how natural it is to take a book and go read it in the park and have it in a park setting. And we will have the same thing when we open up, you and I, next week with the county executive, the Claymont Library with the park across the street. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, after a 3-year series of hard work and a lot of advocacy on the part of Friends of Claymont Library and county government and state government. We are now going to open a brand new public library in Claymont next Friday evening, and it will also feature a very progressive use of land and planning so that folks can take advantage of the library facility and simply walk across Darley Road to one of our great parks there, Woods Haven Cruise, and as well as the residents in the Darley Green New Urbanist Master Plan community can take advantage of pedestrian-friendly compact development to get all their needs met in the general vicinity. So we're looking forward to yet again another progressive public improvement with the new Claymont Library opening next Friday. I know you'll be there, and I'm glad to have you there with us.
So, John, why don't you give us the date and time for the ribbon cutting on Friday, and then when the library opens up with special events the next day on Saturday?
We're going to cut the ribbon on the library October 25th. It's a Friday evening. It's 6 o'clock, and then the following day, special programming all day for the public, starting at 10 o'clock, going into the early evening, and I hope people come out and see one of our state-of-the-art new community libraries opening next Friday, October 25th at 6 p.m., and take advantage of that great facility and all the things that it has to offer the public.
Chris, tell us about your grandfather who owned one of the farms that made this park today.
He owned
what was his name?
Joseph Harlan Day. He owned a farmhouse where the soccer fields are. He sold his farmhouse to the Newcastle County for the library in 1970s, I believe, and he wanted the park to be very useful for the county because he had no use for it anymore back then, because he was in his elder years back then.
Now we combined three farms: the Street Farm, the Mrs. Day's farm, Edith Day, and then your grandfather, great-grandfather, that was your grandfather, Mr. Day, and then Miss Edith Talley's farm, and those three farms now comprise this beautiful Talley Day Park. Although, shouldn't it have been named Day Talley Park?
It's fine.
Now, you did a project recently for your Eagle Scout. Chris, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, there's a pond behind the library. I wanted to make a bird sanctuary for my Eagle Scout project. So we put 10 birdhouses, 2 bat boxes, and we also wanted to improve the safety around the pond so people don't hurt themselves. We put a fence where there's a little cliff with a bunch of rocks under there. We put a fence there. We put 2 signs, no swimming, no skating, and a life ring next to the pond in case anyone drowns, save their lives. Just want to improve safety.
Well, that's a project that you can be proud of, and everyone for future generations can as well. And what is your name?
Uma Fatima.
And Uma, tell us about your Key Club at Brandywine High School.
We basically volunteer all around wherever we can, but we have different programs planned out for like every month. For example, this month we're doing trick-or-treating for UNICEF, where we raise money for UNICEF. That goes to buying tetanus like shots for the people that are less fortunate than we are. And we are also doing a bake sale for them. At the end of the month we'll do it. And today we're doing this. We have something like this planned for every month. So.
What is your name?
Andy.
And Andy, what grade are you in?
6th.
And why are you here today?
I'm helping out with the mulch.
And what job are you doing?
I'm putting the mulch in the wheelbarrow.
Very nice. And have you done this before?
No.
And it's a beautiful day for us to do this here. So thank you for allowing us to spend a moment with you.